The drama revealed that she once told Dana White about a stalker who had been harassing her every day. According to Nina, Dana immediately contacted counterterrorism police, who identified the man and had placed him on a no-fly list to prevent him from getting to Vegas.
That number got leaked on the internet, and then I got a stalker. And then the stalker was crazy. He was out of his mind. He wouldn't stop harassing me. And he was sending me like cartel beheadings and all this kind of stuff. And so I told Dana. And Dana was like, "Oh, babe, 1 minute," right? And then 2 seconds later, I had counterterrorism call me, and then they showed up at my house. And then they took all my information, and by the next morning, they found my stalker.
Damn.
And they put him on a no-fly list so that you can never come to Vegas.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was he pulling up to your crib?
He was like, "I know where you live," and then he was saying I love what you did to your house. Like, I love your Christmas decorations.
The UFC world has been packed with so many developments over the past few days that it has become difficult for fans to keep up with every update. Max Holloway, Paddy Pimblett, and Gable Steveson have been fined for their celebrations. Bellemere suffered a shocking upset on Dana White's Contender Series. Merab Dvalishvili responded to comments from Islam Makhachev, and Tyson Fury shared his honest opinion about grappling in MMA. And that's only the beginning, because stories involving Conor McGregor, Dana White, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Rampage Jackson are also making headlines. First, let's talk about the controversial celebrations at UFC 329. Max Holloway, Paddy Pimblett, and Gable Steveson jumped out of the octagon to celebrate with the fans after their victories. However, the Nevada Athletic Commission determined that the celebrations violated the rules and fined all three fighters $2,500 each. Interestingly, the commission had previously withheld their fight purses. Officials explained that the rule was introduced after the infamous post-fight brawl at UFC 229, when Khabib Nurmagomedov jumped over the cage and went after members of Conor McGregor's team. Of course, officials recognized that the celebrations by Holloway, Pimblett, and Steveson were completely different from what happened at UFC 229. But according to the commission, the main concern is safety. If a fighter jumps into the crowd, the situation could quickly become difficult to control. The good news is that all three fighters have now paid their fines, their purses have been released, and they will not face any additional punishment. Now, let's move on to one of the most shocking results from the Contender Series. Frank Mir's daughter, Bella Mir, suffered a major upset against Alex Apodaca. Bella entered the fight as a massive betting favorite, but the result went completely the other way. Apodaca ultimately earned a unanimous decision victory, and the controversy became even more interesting after the fight. Bella's mother criticized Apodaca's victory on social media and questioned the judge's decision. Her reaction was extremely emotional, and she suggested that Bella should have won the fight. But Dana White had a somewhat different reaction. Dana openly admitted that he was extremely biased going into the fight because of how close he is with the Mir family, and because he has followed Bella's career for several years. However, one major difference became clear during the fight: experience in deep waters. And honestly, in MMA, a single loss does not have to mean the end of a fighter's career. Sometimes a loss can become the experience that takes a fighter to the next level. Meanwhile, Movsar Evloev has given fans a glimpse of his preparation for his upcoming featherweight title fight against Alexander Volkanovski. Evloev has been focusing on boxing drills and pad work, and his training footage has sparked plenty of discussion among fans. His opponent, Alexander Volkanovski, is widely regarded as one of the best strikers in MMA. Naturally, fans are wondering just how effective Evloev's improved boxing skills will be against Volk's elite stand-up game. This fight is not simply going to be a basic wrestling versus striking matchup. If Evloev has genuinely improved his boxing, Volkanovski could have another dangerous layer to deal with. Now let's talk about the ongoing tension between Merab Dvalishvili and Islam Makhachev. Islam recently commented on Merab's reaction to the Russian flag, and Merab has now clarified his position. Merab explained that his issue is not with Russian people. Instead, he says his disagreement is specifically with the Russian government and its politics. He also explained that Georgia's history and conflicts with Russia make the subject extremely personal for him. At the same time, Merab made it clear that he respects Islam. He described Islam as a great champion and a humble person and said that he congratulated him after the fight. However, Merab explained that seeing the Russian flag triggered an emotional reaction because of his personal background and political views. The important point is that Merab repeatedly emphasized that this was never about personal hatred toward Islam Makhachev. And now, the opinion of a boxing legend about MMA is also getting attention. Tyson Fury openly said that he finds MMA more exciting when fighters are standing and exchanging punches. He admitted that he does not enjoy watching extended grappling and wrestling exchanges as much. Fury's opinion is not particularly surprising considering his background as a heavyweight boxing champion. For him, stand-up fighting is naturally the most exciting form of combat. But MMA fans know that grappling is a huge part of the sport. An elite wrestler can completely change the direction of a fight with takedowns, control, and submissions. Meanwhile, Conor McGregor also grabbed attention after he was spotted on crutches at a grocery store, where he began handing out his energy drink to random shoppers. McGregor encouraged people to try the drink and promoted the product with his usual confidence. Dana White also made an interesting financial revelation. Dana did not reveal the fighter's name, but many fans have speculated that he could be referring to Kevin Holland. Now let's move over to Song Yadong. Song believes that if he defeats Umar Nurmagomedov, he deserves a bantamweight title shot. Song has taken the opportunity very seriously and explained that when the UFC offered him the fight, he immediately accepted. But Umar is also confident about what could happen next. Umar believes that if Petr Yan defeats Merab Dvalishvili again, the circumstances could potentially open the door for another fight between Umar and Merab. Umar suffered the only loss of his career against Merab, so a rematch would obviously be a major motivation for him. And finally, there is a wild moment involving Rampage Jackson that has been making the rounds on social media. Rampage found himself in a grappling situation with a boxer and quickly demonstrated the difference between MMA and boxing by putting his opponent in a choke. The moment once again highlighted the differences between the two combat sports. Boxing requires incredible striking ability, but MMA fighters have additional weapons such as takedowns, submissions, and ground control. That is exactly why style versus style debates in combat sports never seem to end. Overall, there is no shortage of stories in the UFC and MMA world right now. From a fines handed to Holloway, Pimblett, and Steveson, to Bellamir's shocking upset, from the political tension involving Merab and Islam to the title shot ambitions of Umar and Song Yadong, there is drama everywhere. So, which of these stories shocked you the most? Do you think Holloway, Pimblett, and Steveson deserve to be fined? Do you think Bellamir can bounce back and prove her potential at the UFC level? And should Umar Nurmagomedov get another opportunity to fight Merab Dvalishvili? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. And if you enjoy the latest UFC and MMA news, controversies, fight updates, and behind-the-scenes stories, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.